Okay, we're recording, and this will be a little bit cheesy, but I'll try to just walk through this of how we are setting up submittals on the Hilton waterfront job. So we just looked at the specs. I have Sam sitting here with me, but we looked at the specs, and we're going to do the elevator submittal, and it's for the hydraulic, basically the hydraulic pit details. So we looked at the specs, and this is 14-2000, and we'll make it 14-2000 1.0 since it's the first submittal in that section. So let's pull it out. We got an email from Art Martinez, and we're going to go and we're going to drop it in our construction folder. We're going to drop it in submittals, and we're going to make a new section. And that section will be 14-2000-1.0. We'll make this hydraulic elevator pit details. Hydraulic elevator pit details. And we'll just grab that, and we'll grab these, and we'll throw them in here. Okay, so they are now in our folder. Great. Now what we'll do here is I'm just going to take some of these templates, and here is our submittal stamp and submittal log, and I'm going to just copy these, and I'm going to put them in the hydraulic elevator. And we'll change this. And we're going to rename this to, actually let's check here first. Yeah, okay. We'll just put it together first and then we'll rename it. Okay, so a little off track, but let's open the submittal. And obviously we want to check these, but let's just assume we checked them and they're all good. We checked him yesterday with Art in person, and we were happy with everything that he was doing. So, yeah, and so we're okay with what he's doing. So we checked these yesterday, but in theory, you want to check these, make sure you're good with everything. So, back to this. We open this up. That's the stamp. And I want a blank submittal cover. That's one thing that we didn't have in the templates, but we need to grab that too. Submittal stamp, close that. So kind of ignore what I just did and just go to the blank submittal cover. This computer's a little bit slow, but we're working with it. So it'll go to John Heineman, the architect. We will change the date of the submittal transmittal. Today is 1/7/16. And this will be submittal 14-2000-1.0. We'll put hydraulic elevator pit details. Great. Emailed, and then we'll change this to submittal 14-2000-1.0 hydraulic elevator pit details. Construction detail for approval, blah blah blah. And then we're going to change this to Samantha Scheinberg. What's your phone number?
917 560
560
1557.
1557. Perfect. Okay, so it's that simple really for this. We'll save this, close this, and really we can just put it together now. So I used Bluebeam stapler, so we'll just grab that, and then we'll bring over the blank submittal cover, and we'll bring over the 2 submittals from Cone A, and we'll bring over the submittal stamp, and we'll put that stamp right after the cover because we want to, you want to just give your stamp a blessing of approval. I double click that, and we're going to just change the name, so we'll make it 14200-1.0 hydraulic elevator pit details, and will be the name of the PDF, and we'll staple that together. It staples together. And then pretty soon we should have a submittal. While that thinks, we will, while this thing is, well, let's wait for it to come together. But the one thing that we do want to do is we want to go to our Google Doc submittal log, which I have here, Huntington Beach. It's in my Google Docs. And I'm going to go to submittal log. Let's see if this finished yet. Still thinking. And then we're going to put this in the submittal log, 14/2000 dash, and then it's submittal 1.0. And then if there's a resubmittal, basically I'm making that resubmittal 0.1. Like for example, this was a resubmittal, the auger pressure grouted displacement pals, so we made the resubmittal 0.1. If there's another one, you have to make it 0.2. And we said this is the high, get that later, hydraulic elevator pit details.
Quick question, if it's 2, that means it's a completely new submittal?
2, it's just a different submittal under that
spec section.
Yeah. Preparing contractors Cone. We're sending it to the AOR 1716. The due date will be, I'm just going to copy this and paste it, so it's 7 days I give them. And then we'll fill this information in when we get it back. So let's check our status. It's still, I don't know why this isn't stapling. I'll see if I can pause this. So it's thinking, it's just taking a while. There's the specs. I'm trying to see if my Cam Studio thing's even recording. Yeah, it is. We're gonna pause for a second while this comes together. Okay, this is a continuation of the recording. The Bluebeam stapler worked and it created this nifty little thing here.
This fucking place is bitching. I'm just gonna sleep right here on this couch.
And then here we go. So I'm gonna actually close this. Close this. No.
That's where I'm working right now.
I'm going to open this in Bluebeam so I can make some revisions. Okay.
Anyhow, I wasn't calling you about any of that. I just wanted to know if you guys wanted to go out to dinner or something.
Job name. I just put the waterfront, Hilton.
This is the stamp.
Submittal, 14-2000. Yeah. Dash 1.0. And submittal name is hydraulic elevator pit details. Yeah, this is the stamp.
Mhm.
Sorry if I
No,
was
it's fine,
ignoring
okay.
you. I was just
Okay.
focused on this thing. And then the date is 1/7.
Where is he at?
16. And we'll just put Samantha Scheinberg. Okay, so that's that. And then just make sure we clean it up so we don't want like an extra page in here. There's no point in having that.
Whatever. I'm just gonna be sitting here working for a while. We'll just discuss with John and get something figured out. And
Rotate pages counterclockwise, and then we have these.
you know, take these guys here.
So these are good. And we'll save. And we will. Now this is good. Now the only other thing I want to do is I want to put a header on it. I'm big into headers and footers. Just because if something gets a little screwed up, we can always find it pretty easily. So honestly, pages, headers and footers. Here it is.
Well, just give me a call either way.
HBH Submittal. And then we'll change the submittal to the 14-2000-1.0 hydraulic elevator pit detail. Joe Walsh, it's a good one.
I can't wait to listen to this later.
Now, I drove my wife crazy with this song because I kept playing it. I can play it on the guitar. And so I would just play it over and over, and there was like this YouTube video of him playing, and I'd play it over and over. So, alright, so, good, we have our submittal, we have the pages, submitted date, all that kind of fun stuff. Close, close. And what we're going to do is I always put a folder of the submittal. So we put 01, 07, 16, submission. And we already created the one document. We already logged it on the log. So I'm just going to throw it into that folder. We're going to go to here. We're going to go to new. And we're going to send it to our buddy John Heineman.
What are you doing, Box Protocol, or is this?
It's submittal. We're just showing her how to do.
Did
how
you
to
use
submittal.
Box where you were at?
I use Procore.
Procore. Oh, Procore.
Yeah.
And
But
we're
their
going to
submittal-
send it to Sam
Their submittal
Scheinberg,
process was actually a nightmare, but the program itself was really good.
Derek
Mine
Kreider.
is doing submittals. And that,
We'll copy Art Martinez just so he sees it's going through.
Seems they all have
Why
a
not
little
send it to
picture.
Paul? And we'll just put submittal 14-2000-1.0 hydraulic elevator pit details. And we'll say, John, please. Oh, you know who else I copy on this is Katie.
who's she?
Katie is like, she's on the design team. John and Katie. Please see attached submittal for the hydraulic elevator pit detail. Now, two things here that I like to do. One is we go back to the submittal log, and since it's the Google Doc, I literally Control C, copy the link, and I put the link in here, and I put for an updated log, please visit, boom. And then I put this submittal will be due on 1/14/16. I tell them the due date. And then I like to actually put this little,
You give them 7 days? Or
Yes.
Whatever it is.
And actually, the last thing I like to do is message follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
I like to add a reminder just to annoy everyone.
Cool.
And it says return submittal. I mean, this is just my little built-in reminder
That's cool.
system.
I do the same thing.
And it kind of just annoys people and just says, hey, you have something due. Okay, and then we send it. And then one thing I like to do, and this is, your preference, but I think it's a good practice, is anytime I send something, like a submittal or something, I always just drop it into the folder. Just so if they ever say, hey, you didn't send it? Oh yeah, I did, it's right here. So that's the submittal process, basically. So I'm going to stop the recording.